Hi, we're live at the 2019 Wolfram Technology Conference. I'm Sylvia Haas, and I'm Wolfram Alpha on Twitter. And I'm here with my co-host.
Hi, I'm Rachna. I'm a student at the Illinois Math and Science Academy, and I'm part of the Wolfram Emerging Leaders Program. We're here with Geoffrey Espagula-Pons, who is a Wolfram community moderator, and he's here to talk to us about forest fires in Brazil.
So, what do you do at Wolfram?
So I'm a Wolfram community moderator, the website platform.
Okay.
And from time to time I also like to code from certain topicals.
Okay.
And in this case it was about Brazil fires, rainforest Brazil fires.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the Wolfram community?
Yeah, so it's an online platform where Wolfram users can ask and share their own ideas. And there's a rich interaction between different expertise, and there are several community groups.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So what are you doing here at the conference?
So I'm gonna present a talk on one of my hobbies, that is like identifying a species, like kind of Pokemon, but in the real life.
Okay.
And it's gonna be about computational taxonomy. Even if my background is in physics, I like biology.
Very cool.
So can you tell us a little bit about your project?
So the one we're gonna present here, it's about trying to visualize the recent increase in Brazil rainforest fires, which I think it raised up to 84% this year in respect to the last year. And what I wanted to show is that it's not a natural event that raised up the temperatures and there were more fires naturally, but it was more like politics related and human origin. So maybe I can, or should we show
let's look at an
the
example. Yeah.
Definitely.
So basically the first step was to get the built-in data from Wolfram knowledge base and get all the different states from Brazil. And then I wanted to also show where the people is living in Brazil.
Okay.
And you can see that I think here in the Amazonas state, it's quite, there are not that many people, like in other states like Para and Mato Grosso, where actually the rainforest is also here. And
So is that why there's not as many people there?
yeah.
And is that all just built into the Wolfram language?
All this first part, like population and showing the states, all these entities are built in the Wolfram language. Oh. So like this. Maybe I can also enlarge.
Cool.
Better.
Okay, cool. Yes.
And the next step was to get the real data that the National Institute for Space Research in Brazil recorded a number of fires during the last 7 years using satellite images. And basically what I did is to take this data from them. I trust this institution, and I imported it to the Wolfram language.
Okay, cool. Great.
And then the next step was to combine both geographics, and the idea was to visualize the number of fires. Initially I used it also I think it was a similar type of visualization with colors, but a friend of mine asked me like, but here I cannot really visualize how many fires were like in the area. So I decided to use a new version 12 Wolfram function that I did not know about it, and it was I think it's the one called random geoposition.
Okay.
So I know the number of fires happening, and then I realized that there were like really too many fires. I think there were like 70,000 fires.
Oh my gosh.
So I decided to kind of define a red dot into the map as approximately 25 fires.
Okay.
So it would be like easy to visualize it.
So
and then
they're randomly generated within a region?
Exactly. Within each state, I knew the number of fires per year. So I decided for each state to represent one red dot randomly in that state. and then that will like represent approximately 25 fires.
Okay, cool.
Then it was a matter of tweaking a bit the geographics using some geo background, a satellite image, and using some aesthetics tweaking. And the final visualization was a GIF, which I can show it to you here.
Make that one full screen too.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. So during the last 7 years, you can see that in 2019 really there's like a red light or many lights. And I also at the end correlated with so this is weather data. It's built-in Wolfram language data, and you can specify a certain state. For example, here in the state of Amazonas, you can see that during the last 7 years, actually the average temperature was not really increasing. Actually, it was even decreasing. So there is no physical evidence for like being natural, these rise of fires. And if we go back to the states, there's a clear evidence that the states near the Amazonas are the ones having high population, and they're like probably right now burning rainforests to then use for agriculture, soy milk production, beef, and all this.
Okay.
So it's kind of a terrible, sad news, but that's kind of happening right now in Amazonas, especially during the last year with the new president in Brazil, Bolsonaro.
So what prompted you to work on this project?
I think it was like last September. Many medias like in Instagram or Facebook, you could see a lot of like shocking videos of rainforest fires, but you don't get the bigger picture of what's really happening there. It seems like there's just like fire in rainforest, but you don't know the reason why it's happening in Brazil and why.
Right,
So I got curious about it and wanted to share it, and I think I shared it in Reddit. Data is Beautiful channel, and I got quite viral there, like several thousand views and some nice comments on extensions, because I think I could do some extension on this topic.
That's cool. So if people want to learn more about this, is there a place they can go?
So I guess that the next step would be like to not go to the states, but to the subdivision, like the administrative divisions inside the states, and get maybe a closer look at the villages and cities that are within the different regions, and so get more accurate on what's really happening there. And one idea could be like using several Wolfram language functions, that is like satellite images. I think you can connect also to one of the satellite services that give you every day or almost every day live images from Earth. I think it's called Global Satellite Service.
We believe you.
And I should check it. And that would be like an idea to keep extending the project.
So you could just like keep adding to it every day.
Yeah.
Live updates.
That could be an idea, but I haven't had the time to extend it.
Do you have other projects in the works right now?
Yeah, the preparing the talk for tomorrow. And so maybe one thing I could do is also, since I'm gonna do some project on biodiversity, to also try to check, like to see these areas that are getting burned, if there are like certain species that are only living in the areas burned. So then if they're like, if like maybe calculating the number of extinct species due to these fires, that would be also sad but interesting. Because I think it's the only place in Earth that there are like the highest number of species concentrated per kilometer square in Brazil.
Would fires naturally occur in the
Fires have always naturally occurred, and I think it's a natural process. In rainforests, it's not that common to have fires on rainforest, but it's a natural process. The only kind of alarming thing is that we humans are raising up that number.
Definitely. Well, I hope hope your project brings awareness for that.
Thank you.
And good luck on your talk tomorrow.
Thank you as well.
Thanks for coming to talk with us.